So, you've been hitting the gym for months now, following all the advice, buying supplements, sweating it down in the gym, and yet you're still not seeing the results you were expecting. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I doing wrong? Well, first off, relax. You're not alone. Most people are stuck in the same spot. They're either making one or more mistakes, or they've been led to believe that quick fixes are a thing. Spoiler alert, they're not. But here's the good news it's not complicated. You might just be missing a few key pieces of the puzzle. Let's break it down and find out what's really going on because getting results in the gym isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Here's why. Number one, you're not consistent. I hate to say it, but if you're not seeing results, the first thing to check is consistency. If you've been hitting the gym once a week and then skipping for 2 weeks because quote unquote life got busy, your progress is going to be like trying to fill a leaky bucket. Consistency is the absolute key to any kind of progress. And no, this doesn't mean going 7 days a week and burning yourself out. It means showing up, put the work in, and do it regularly. You need a routine that works around your schedule, not the other way around. If you've been training, let's say 1 or 2 times a week, or you're inconsistent with your workouts, don't be surprised if you're not seeing any growth. This isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle change. You need to train your body at least 2 to 3 times a week to see solid progress. It doesn't have to be extreme, just consistent. If you've been hitting the gym hard for 2 to 3 months, but your consistency is still shaky, that's your issue right there. Work on building that habit and you'll see the results. Number two, you're not training hard enough. Now, just because you're showing up to the gym doesn't mean you're training hard enough to actually see results. If you're not pushing yourself every single workout, you're not going to get stronger or bigger. If you're leaving the gym and feeling like you could have done 10 more sets, you didn't train hard enough. The key here is intensity. Try pushing yourself to the last rep or feel like you can't go any further. And keep that intensity level high throughout your workout. This is where your body starts to adapt, and that's when the results start to appear. Number three, maybe you're training too hard. Here's the catch. You can't just keep pushing your limits every day. Sometimes too much intensity and overtraining will backfire. If you're working out like a beast 7 days a week and hitting failure in every set, you're putting yourself at risk of overtraining. Overtraining doesn't just stunt muscle growth, it can lead to injury, burnout, and even make your body lose muscle. That's right, the harder you push yourself without proper rest, the more your body starts to break down. The goal is to find balance. You need to train hard, but you also need to respect recovery time. For muscle growth, you need 48 hours before hitting the same muscle group again, or you risk doing more harm than good. Number four, too much volume or too little volume. Now, there's something else going on if you're not seeing progress. Your volume might be totally off. Are you doing too many sets and constantly feeling drained after each workout? Or are you barely doing any sets and wondering why nothing's changing? You need to find the sweet spot when it comes to volume. Too much volume leads to a burnout, and excessive muscle breakdown doesn't recover properly. Too little volume leads to a lack of stimulus for muscle growth. For most people, 8 to 10 sets per muscle group per week is ideal. But remember, it's all about quality over quantity. You don't need to do 30 sets of bench press to get a bigger chest. Focus on intensity and quality reps. Find the volume for your goals and focus on progressive overload for your muscles to grow over time. Number five, bad technique. One of the biggest reasons people fail to see results in the gym is bad technique. You may think you're lifting heavy, but if your form is trash, you're wasting time. If you're swinging weights, using momentum, or cutting the range of motion short, you're leaving gains on the table. You use full range of motion, make sure you're going all the way down and all the way up. Cutting your reps short doesn't challenge the muscle fully. You're using momentum. If you're swinging the weights and using your body to get the bar up, it's time to slow down. Let the muscle do the work. Pauses. Don't rush through the set. Add pauses at the top or bottom of the movement to increase time under tension, which stimulates more muscle growth. Number six, too little rep range or not enough time under tension. If you're only sticking to low rep ranges like 1 to 5, you're building strength. You're not maximizing a muscle growth. If you're only doing high reps like 15 plus, you're missing out on strength gains. The key to muscle growth is hitting it within the 6 to 14 rep range, as it's not low where your rest time's gotta be so long, and not too high where it's super fatigued. Also, don't forget about time under tension. It's not about the number of sets, but how your muscles are under load during each rep. A slow, lowering phase known as the eccentric, paired with a fast upper phase known as the concentric, combined with a slight pause at the top and bottom will give your muscles more time to grow. Number 7. You're not sleeping properly. Let me guess, you're probably not getting enough sleep. You've been running on 5 to 6 hours a night thinking you'll be fine. Guess what? You're not fine. Muscle growth happens when you sleep, not in the gym. Sleep is basically when your muscles recover and grow. Without quality sleep, all the hard work is basically wasted. Aim to 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. You should be waking up naturally, not with an alarm. Number 8, you're not eating enough protein. If you're not eating enough protein, you're not going to build muscle. Simple as that. The general rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you weigh 180 pounds, you need 180 grams of protein per day to maximize recovery and growth. Number 9, too little or too much. Here's the biggest trap: eating too little or too much. If you're eating too little, you're not giving your body the fuel it needs to grow. Muscle growth requires calories, and if you're in too large of a deficit, your body will cannibalize muscle tissue in order to survive. On the other hand, if you're eating too much, you're going to gain fat. Find that sweet spot where you're eating just enough to build muscle, but not so much that you end up with a belly. Number 10, you're not patient enough. Building muscle takes time. It doesn't happen in 3 months or even 6 months. It takes years to build real muscle. Trust the process and remember that progress isn't linear, it's a journey. Number 11, you're comparing yourself to influencers. Lastly, stop comparing yourself to influencers you see online. Most of them are on steroids, using perfect lighting and editing their photos. You're not going to look like them after 6 months of training. They've been doing this for years and got some extra help, if you know what I mean, that you don't. Focus on your own journey and don't let social media distort your reality. So, if you're not seeing results, it's probably because you're missing on one or more of these key factors. But don't expect overnight gains. It's all about long term effort, balance, and patience. Stick with it, and you'll see those gains sooner than you think. Now get back to the gym and start training smarter.